I honestly can't tell you how, but after entering 2 different online locals in 2 consecutive weeks, I've come out with an overall record of 7-0, going 3-0 in the first locals and 4-0 in the second, and I was playing War Rocks. I don't know why I was playing it, to be exact. I had the cards ready, and I threw together a list, and when the locals came around, it was the only thing I had prepared, so I just kind of threw it in there, and I tested the Huhnga and the Bunga, and it overperformed. I do want to say I was up against some great duelists piloting some really great decks like Bird Up, Code Talkers, Unchained, Shadal. Somehow, through thick and thin, and usually by the skin of my teeth, I was able to pull out the wins. I do want to say this list is very far from ideal. I only had 1 pack of sleeves in the colors, so my ratios are a bit all over the place because I had to get it under a certain number. I took some cards out for other decks, and I just forgot to put them back in at some point. And just weird things like that really push the deck down. There's also 1 or 2 weird techs in here that I honestly would take out. I sided them out every game, stuff like Arrival for Rivals, and honestly, Naturia Beast isn't the greatest right now, but yeah, this is what I'm playing, so let's get into it. Starting off with our main deck, War Rocks, we're playing triple War Rock Fortia. This card is the Searcher of the archetype. After damage calculation, you can search a card, most usually War Rock Mountain, maybe War Rock Gactos or Skylar, to provide the Fortia for another play. We're also playing triple Gactos. This is the extender in the deck. It's probably the best generic card in the archetype. If you normal summon any Earth Warrior, you can summon it from the hand, make a rank 4. We're on double Orpus. Some people run this at 3. I just don't think there's enough good targets for it in the deck, to be honest, so I'm running it at 2 here. We can send Thousand Blades or Bastillos, which we're going to see later on. We're going to be running double Skylar. People run Skylar at 1. I think that is a grave miscalculation. It's a great card. It can bring back Fortia or Gactos and just helps the deck stick. We're also running double Bastillos. Bastillos is Bastillos revives itself if an Earth Warrior monster is destroyed by battle, and it can attack directly, which has some pretty interesting combinations with other cards. Now, to support War Rock, we do want to play a lot of level 4 extenders to get our rank 4 plays going, but, only the good ones. Assault Halberd's a free special summon if you control no monsters and your opponent controls a monster, and Gaia can special summon itself essentially for free if you have Bastillos in hand. So now that that's done with, we're playing 2 Gaia in the main deck here, just because it's the extender, as I said, and it can banish itself from the graveyard, target a monster on the field during the battle phase, and make its attack its original attack, and that comes up against some cards like Access Code. We're also playing double Assault Halberd, so you can slide one of these out if you're going first, slide one of the Origin out if you're going second, just to kind of adapt there. If this does piercing damage, you can search out another Heroic Challenger like Thousand Blade, or even just search the other copy. It's a pretty good card to get into the rank 4 plays. Now we're playing 1 attack gainer just because it's an Earth Warrior tuner that's level 1. It gets a Snap Beast and doesn't do anything else. Now we are running the 1 Alpha and the 1 Pankratops. I don't actually own more than 1 Alpha, but I don't think I'd run too many, honestly. I think Pankratops is just better for what we want to do here, that they clear themselves so Warwick Mountain can resolve, so those are good to have. Now under our hand traps, we're running triple Ash Blossom. Just good generic hand trap, I don't need to say much here. Next, we're on the triple Gamma. You'll notice one of these is a proxy. It's the one on the right, if you can't tell. We're running the driver as well to facilitate these. We're going second. That's our game plan. It protects Mountain. I think it's a great card to have. Triple Effect Failure, because I can't afford some other pricier hand traps like Impermanence, and it's a great budget option there. We're also on 2 Drollin Lockbird, just because I don't have enough copies of the sleeve color, and some cuts had to be made. We're also on double Dimension Shifter. This is interesting in the deck because it doesn't hit us that much because we want to make rank 4s or just have our War Rocks stick on board and we don't need to send anything to graveyard, so it does not hit us as much as other decks in the format. The only real issue here is it prevents the float from Fortia and Gactos just because they'd be banished instead of going from the graveyard, which is a bit crusty, but I think it's well worth it. Now, onto the spells. Of course, we're playing triple War Rock Mountain. It's probably the best card in the archetype, really holds the deck together. Now, I'd recommend playing Terraforming as well, but I forgot that I took the card out for another deck. Mountain searches Fortia, and Fortia searches Mountain, which is one of the few resource loops the deck can do, which is much appreciated. This next card is probably one of the more contentious cards in the deck. We're running triple Pot of Desires. Now, the immediate question is why not Pot of Extravagance or Pot of Prosperity? I just don't think the way we're playing the deck, the extra deck can take the hit, and I don't think my wallet can take the hit either. I kind of just blew a lot of money on an unrelated project recently. We are running Driver. And we're also running Double or Nothing, which are cards you really don't want to hit off of Pot of Desires. So I can get the argument for not running it, but I think the card advantages it generates is really key in a lot of grind games. Of course, we have the one Rhoda. It searches pretty much everything in the deck except for the big ones. Great card to have. We have one 1-for-1, searches the attack gainer. A bit of a weird tech here, but we are running one Arrival Rivals. It's an extra normal summon in the battle phase, and it's great when it goes off, but it just doesn't. Now, we're running one Raigeki in the main, and also two Lightning Storms. These are first edition Lightning Storms, if you can't tell. Just kind of break those boards. To round out the main deck, we're playing one War Rock. This is kind of the key point of the deck. This actually comes out in Lightning Overdrive. I have the early release. Moving into the extra deck now, we're playing one Ferocious Flame Swordsman. It gets all warrior monsters 500 extra attack points, and if it's destroyed, it also floats into another non-link warrior. We're playing Nightmares, Phoenix, and Unicorn. They're just good generic removal. I probably don't need to explain these. The Phoenix battle effect is actually very nice when you can get that working. BLS Link is an Earth Warrior. You don't go into it often, but when you do, it's very nice to see because it synergizes well with the deck. We're playing for rank 4s, Gandiva, Ignister, Abyss Dweller. This is like a toolbox, so I'm just going to kind of go over everything at once. Exciton Knight, Baguska, and of course the Vespinato to throw over all of these. Gandiva hits some decks like Prank Kids, just murders them. Very sad to see. Ignister is great non-targeting removal. Abyss Dweller hits some other decks like Eldritch. Exciton Knight is great in a pinch to even up the board. And Baguska is probably your best turn 1 board. Vespinato is great for just putting in a little bit extra damage as well. Now, you could probably tell from the Double or Nothing, but we're on the Utopia Double package of Utopia Double, but we're also running Utopia the Lightning as a Dragoon out. It's easy, they can't negate its effects. You can just beat over something that is a hassle otherwise to deal with. You don't make it often, but it's there for Dragoon, which is a big issue for the list. One of the cooler interactions you can do here is you can actually use Warrock Bestilos and Utopia Double to get some extra damage. What you'll do is you'd attack in with Bestilos, negate with Utopia, and Double or Nothing to Bestilos, allowing you to attack directly for 58, and then you can run over something with a 5k Utopia. Now we're on the one of Zeus, the best Batterman card in my opinion. I don't think it does much for the Batterman deck, but it's great here. It's just a great card all around, so of course we're running it. And for Synchros, just the one Naturia Beast. It shuts down some decks, but it's you have to hard draw into the attack gainer and a level 4, so it's a bit iffy. So just we're going to step into the side now. We're running the Double Warning and one Judgment. This is just what I had on hand. I'd play the place of the Judgment or honestly some Strikes, but I just didn't have the time to find them. We're playing Double Gozen and Double Rivalry of Warlords. Warrocks play under both of these, so it just depends on what you're up against. You can side one or both in. You might want to go to Triple Gozen actually, depending on what you're thinking about. Now, for just random traps, we're running Double Lost Wind, one Torrential. Honestly, don't run Lost Wind too much. It's a good card, but it's not as high impact as some other cards that you could be running. It's just what I had on hand. Double Dark Ruler. You might want to bump this up to 3 as well. If you do side this in, if you know you're playing against something with an unbreakable board and you're going second, so Dragon Link, for example, that deals with that. Double Cosmic and Feather Duster just as your spell trap removal, because we don't actually main deck anything outside of Lightning Storms. So just having these options are great. They certainly saved me. I'd actually main deck the Cosmics this format, to be completely honest. And yeah, that's the list. That's the War Rocks.